As Karen said, I'm Jeremy Boland, CEO and co-founder of NGX, and we're a food tech company developing personalised nutrition products to improve overall health and have a positive impact on the environment. The first things first, for you guys, this is all about the money. So this is an opportunity to turn £1 into 25 over the next 5 years. We've raised over 500,000 so far as part of our £2 million round at a 5 million pre-money valuation, and we're an EIS eligible company. We're a company that is led by a really strong team. So we've got a wealth of experience in healthcare. So myself, I've got over 10 years experience in healthcare, pharmaceutical, marketing, and launching products for the likes of Pfizer, J&J, and Abbott Labs. My nutritionist, Olga Hamilton, she's fantastic, a real thought leader, has done TEDx talks in the science of nutrigenetics, which is one of the scientific areas that underpins what we're doing as a business. She's got 20 years experience in the industry, very, very experienced. And Hugo and Alex Blythe, both serial founders. Alex is an economist and a biologist, original inventor behind the NGX idea that I'm going to show you today. And there's a lot of experience, 25 years in healthcare as well. And we've got a very strong advisory team as well. So some of the world's leading professors in nutrigenetics. There's a science, so 3 of them on our board, and a very strong commercial advisory board of experienced CEOs and directors in health, wellness, nutrition, fitness. So what's the problem we're looking to solve? Well, one size nutrition does not fit all. And so what you can see on the graph behind me is an example of Stuart, who and his nutrition requirements. And the red line you can see on that chart represents the average recommended guideline amount for each nutrient at 100% NRV. And the green bars represent his actual requirement based on a DNA test and some deep insight analysis that we can do through a consultation. And so when you're not getting the right nutrition, that's when you start to have, you're not optimizing performance across cognitive and physical functions, such as brain health, cognition, mood, anxiety levels, fatigue, illness, inappropriate weight, etc. Nutrition is fundamental, obviously, to all of our physical and cognitive functions. So we invented NGX Body Fuel, which is the world's first genetically personalized meal shake. And what we do is we match up the nutritional requirements of the product to Stuart's individual needs. So in this example, what you can see with the gold bars matched up to his individual requirements, so that Stuart can optimize his daily nutrition and achieve things like improved brain function, or optimal brain function, memory, focus, and optimal physique, optimal physical function as well. So, and all of our products that we're developing, they're all vegan friendly and designed to have a positive impact on the environment. So, we've already talked about, we've had a little bit about pea protein. Jackfruit might be something that I'll be looking to incorporate into what we're doing based on what we've seen earlier. It sounds like a wonderful source of protein powder. But as we know, beef, and if we're looking to replace meals with Body Fuel, you would replace 2 meals per day. And it has a really, really big impact in terms of CO2 emissions. And 2 meals a day represents about 50% reduction in food-related CO2 emissions of an individual. So really, really big impact, and as a business, we're very much signed up to Race to Zero sustainability development goals as well. And a lot of what we do has an environmental focus. So NGX specifically with Body Fuel is looking to disrupt 2 large and growing markets. The meal replacement market is looking at 30 billion, growing at about 7% CAGR over the next few years. And the consumer DNA testing market looking at 6.5 billion in a few years, growing at 19%. So really, really big, lots of positive trends. But nobody is doing what we're doing. So there's lots of DNA testing companies, DNA Fit, 23andMe, Ancestry, those kind of companies looking at DNA, and that's exploding. And the same with meal replacement and foods. So Huel, Ample, and Soylent that I've got here. But actually what we're doing is creating a green space between these markets, and we're using quite high barriers to entry, because what we're doing is actually quite difficult. And it's required 36 months of R&D, and we're constantly innovating as well. We've got a patent pending on our product, really, really important as part of our process to developing NGX Body Fuel. We've got some proprietary tech, a lot of data that we're collecting in the background to make happen what we're doing, and a wealth of other, a high number of barriers as well beyond that. So, hugely attractive opportunity. But how does it work? What are the routes to market? Where are we going to spend the money? Well, we're currently UK based, and we have a specialist lab provider. We've got a specialist nutrition provider as well. And we use that to create our products, so our DNA test, our report, our personalised body fuel, and a couple of other products that we've got alongside that as well. And we go through to market via e-commerce primarily at the moment, through our website, through paid social, paid search, PR, those kind of channels, and that's how we access our customers. Now, how do we want to use the money? Well, primarily we've now built a profitable model for acquiring customers in the UK. So we want to get over to the US a bit later this year, so we're raising 2 million to do that. So that unlocks new geographies, along with unlocking new personalised products, which will fall under our patent. So the personalised power pack, for example, additional add-ins. We've got a huge product development pipeline of personalised, vegan-friendly products. And it will also unlock new channels and new routes to market and give us new ways of accessing customers. So, and the model itself, in terms of how we make money as a business, we drive people to subscription and referrals. So we sell a starter pack to begin with, that gets them on a DNA test, and that gets them onto the nutrition. And then we upsell them, and then we upsell them onto ongoing subscriptions, and we drive referrals to additional customers. And so this is how we're continuing to grow our average customer value. And the new products that we develop, obviously we continue to drive customer value on an increasing amount, and then we feed that back into growth going forwards. Exit strategy-wise, we've got a 5-year acquisition plan through one of these kind of players. Nutrition, very, very active in the M&A space. So Glanbia, Huel, Nestle, Kinetics, the Hut Group, all, lots of acquisitions, 76 M&A over the last 10 years, something like that. Very, very attractive space. So why invest? Well, it's a massive opportunity. Even Huel, actually, as a generic meal replacement brand, is looking at a 1 billion IPO after 8 years in the market, and they have very low barriers to entry, so we've got a huge amount of opportunity there. We're popular, we won loads of awards. As Karen said, we've had great feedback from the press. Branded very investable by Peter Jones on Dragon's Den, which we did and got offers on there. And we're protected, so we've got the patent pending, we've got quite high barriers to switching as well as a personalised product. Customers have shown scientifically to adhere to their diets and adhere to products more so than generic ones, which results in obviously greater adherence, that's waste, lots of positivity there. We've got a big pipeline and a really great team to make it happen. And we've got traction, so we sold to 200,000 meals last year, over $250,000 in revenue. We've got some big name brand partnerships with the likes of AXA, Barclays, and several others. We tripled our average customer value, but half our acquisition cost. So thank you very much for your time, and any questions?
Thank you, very well done. I can see why you're amazing. Nicely done. Okay, yes, we've got quite a lot of questions. Shall we start from the back and move forward?
What was the offer that you got from Dragon's Den?
The offer from Dragon's Den. You only do it for PR.
Yeah, we do it for PR. So we went in, I mean, it was a £50,000 offer, so this was now 18 months ago when it was originally shown. And
Who made the offer?
we had Peter Jones and Tuka Suleiman offering to come in. We were actually in the middle of a crowdfunding round, so we raised a few $100,000 via crowdfunding, and it was at the same time as the BBC approached me to go on the show. So we went on the show, looked at it as a great PR opportunity, but realistically we weren't going to take the 50k at the end of the day.
Okay, yes, moving down some questions. You seem to have, yeah.
I was just going to say, they're all very young, good-looking, and fit.
Oh yes, that's why we've got to advance and take it, so we can look like that.
Take it after 30 days.
You'll look like that. 1 week on the product.
Is it a sport-related item, or is it just a general sort of digestive, dietary meal replacement thing?
Yeah, so it's...
Which marketplace are you actually targeting?
So we take a goal-based approach to selling the product. So we look at fitness, when gym is sort of one area. We look at performance and sort of endurance athletes. We've had a lot of traction, a lot of interest through the likes of Ironman athletes, triathlons, that kind of...
from two so far.
Yeah. And then we take a more well-being approach as well. So we're sort of building out these different lenses, and it gives us a lot of room for building out the products down the track as well. There's the size of our product development roadmap is huge because of the opportunity.
Do you know of a company called Science in Sport?
Yeah.
Have you had talks with them? Are they a competitor or a route to market?
It could be either. They're not directly competing in terms of personalisation, but they're in the same. They're generic versions. So, but there's opportunities there. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you very much.
Lovely, Carol?
How different are people's actual genetic profiles? I mean, how different are the products that you make for different customers? And how do you do that? I mean, how do you keep track of it? How many different ingredients? And is it just, I don't know, 20 ingredients in different proportions or many, many different ingredients? How does that work?
Yeah, sure. So we use, for our hero product, Body Fuel, we use a core set of ingredients, as I said, vegan friendly, things like beet protein, brown rice protein, flax seeds, oats, that kind of thing. And we then vary the nutritional profiles and the balance of those ingredients per product. So this is Body Fuel is a meal replacement. So you take it for breakfast, for example, or we might take it for lunch as or in an afternoon snack. And but what we can learn from your genetics is things like your sensitivity to fats or carbohydrates. So are you better off having a fat-based diet or maybe slightly more carbohydrate-based? Do you need much more vitamin B12? Do you need much more vitamin D? And we understand all of these things, and we change the balances using the same set of ingredients, which is one of the key things that enables us to scale the product in the future. Well, now.
Are you on one yourself, Jeremy?
Yes. I've obviously been taking the product for a while.
Okay.
I haven't been working out.
I just want to know if you're endorsing your own product.
I haven't been working out as much as I used to though, because
you're pretty
of starting a business.
Okay.
It was a
Thank you
disaster.
so much. Please go over to the stand, Jeremy, and ask me questions later.
Thank you.
So, yeah, NGX. And lastly,